every guy who's ever had any kind of sexual sin or any kind of sexual brokenness that's happened in their lives, it's a big, pressureful, fearful thing deciding when to tell the person that they're dating, hey, I've failed in some areas. For me, growing up with gender confusion, with being sexually attracted to the same sex, I had a giant fear factor with when am I going to tell this girl who I really care about that she's actually buying a person that's probably a little bit different than the one she thinks she's buying. I wrestled with that. For me, about 6 weeks into my dating relationship, I felt like God was saying, it's time. So it happened that the two of us had taken a weekend road trip together, and we were having a great time, and I start feeling like, wow, this is the perfect time for me to share this. So I was literally about to start talking, opening up my life to this girl that I cared about. What happens is a song comes on the Christian radio station that we're listening to right in that moment. My girlfriend at the time, she says, isn't it a shame what happened to her? And I said, what are you talking about? She said, well, she came out as a homosexual fairly recently. I'm like, oh gosh, I didn't even know that. And then she went on to show all this compassion that she had for this girl. And I think, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I just felt like God just was telling me it's time to share my story. And seconds later, this girl is confirming for me that I have compassion for people with that struggle. So I was like, oh my gosh, okay, so here I go. And I dive into my story and I'm thinking, hey, this is no big deal. And so she handled it really, really great, and she was kind, and she said, hey, I need to use the restroom, can we stop for a minute? And so I pulled over, and she goes in, and I didn't find out until years later, being married to her, that she actually didn't need to use the restroom. She went into the restroom to have a panic attack. She actually says that she actually had a panic attack over it. But she's an actor, she's an actress, so she composed herself, she got back in the car, acted like things are fine. Now I could tell things weren't totally fine, but hey, I just, backed up the truck on her. So, but yeah, I'm thinking we're doing okay. But she did later that night though. We were headed to her parents' house. I have to now spend the weekend with her family, having just shared this with her. She opens up to me and says, I really don't know what to think about what you shared with me this morning. I could tell she was very unsettled. And she started asking me questions. And I don't know how much this is going to help you, but what I did is I just told the truth. I didn't tell every graphic detail, but I told the substance. And I just shared with her my journey. I shared with her what I had done to get healed of those things, what I had repented of, and what that looked like. And what my track record has been since my healing process began in those areas. I let her in on all of it, because if we're going to spend our lives together, if we're going to make a covenant with each other eventually in marriage, that's both parties sharing everything with each other. So I was open and shared all of that. And I was able to tell her, hey, look, I'm going to always put, for us to go forward in this relationship, I'm always going to put you first. So my priority is beyond even you is God. So you can trust that I'm going to be about His business more than anything else. Then I was also able to tell her the list of my friends and spiritual parents and mentors that I was committed to and that were in my life, that I was known by. And that gave her a sense of safety. She was able to say, okay, there's people I can call. There's people I can go to and say, tell me about this guy. And they would actually know intimately who I really am and what I've really done. The other thing is I said, hey, and if I could say one thing in my defense, sweetheart, any man can hurt you. Yeah, I've done some sins, but probably most any man you find, they have done some kind of sin. It might not be in the sexual area, but they have missed the mark before. And I said, yes, mine was intense because it was a same-sex struggle, but this is the healing process God's done in me, and I can't make you love me, I can't make you choose me, but I'm going to choose you. I was able to say what I was going to do for her. I'm going to choose you every day, And I got to tell you, it set us up for such success in our marriage. I've been married for 10 years, I have 4 kids, and I don't have to wonder if she loves the real me. It's so good to know that she knew what she was buying, and I don't have to wonder if I'm unconditionally loved by my wife. Every day, all day long, I know she chose to marry me, good and the bad, and it's worth it. It's worth it. Life is short. You have one life to live. Make sure you're doing it honest. And if she chooses not to be with you because you were virtuous and truthful, honestly, that can't have been the person God had for you.